Good morning, COS Patriots. Happy New Year to everyone. I hope everyone had a safe and great New Year. The new year brings on new goals, new resolutions, and for us, it means a new legislative session. So I'm really excited about what's going to happen in 2020, looking forward to what can be accomplished at Convention of States, and I'm really excited about Lobby Day, January 29, 2020. I'll be talking about a little bit of that in this video. Also, I'm going to talk about what I've been doing for the past couple weeks, closing out 2019.
So the last couple weeks have been relatively productive. I was able to meet with John, James, and Shelly multiple times over the past couple weeks, and we talked about how we're going to get people involved for Lobby Day 2020. So John, James, Shelly, and I met at a local Starbucks, and we collaborated on how we can get more people involved in Lobby Day 2020. We came to the conclusion that we're not going to be able to get as many people as we'd like, so we decided to host an additional event on January 19th, a pre-Lobby Day rally, if you will. At this pre-Lobby Day rally, we're going to host a letter writing booth, where COS supporters can come and write a letter to their legislator that we can take personally to them on Lobby Day. I also spent some time in the follow-up tool this week, calling the different petition signers, thanking them for their support, and seeing if anyone would like to volunteer, but more importantly, talking about how Convention of States is the solution as big as the problem. One of the things I noticed is people are fairly warm to the idea of writing a letter to their legislator. It seems like a small thing, and when it comes to volunteering, most people have 15 minutes to write a letter, especially if it's something they really feel passionate about. Speaking of handwritten letters, I wrote a handwritten letter to my legislator as well, Chad Mayes. I've written him a couple times without any response, but I know that if I keep sending him letters, eventually he's just gonna have to respond to me. Currently, Chad Mayes has not taken a position on Convention of States, but in this letter, I talked about how Convention of States is a solution as big as the problem, and how all the problems at the federal level can be addressed through a convention, and I asked him to support the Convention of States project. I'm also reading this fantastic book called Servant Leadership, and I know most people at Convention of States have either heard it or read it, and they can attest at how amazing this book is. Another thing I've been working on this week is I made a new email blast. In this email blast, I sent out a video message where I am calling on people who've signed the petition to also come and volunteer in any capacity they can, including writing a handwritten letter. So far, I had 187 people open my email blast, or 13%, which is about average. Also, I got some really cool information that I'm gonna share with you. But first, I'm gonna have a coffee break. So I got something kind of exciting to share with y'all. Do you remember how I talked about in one of my previous videos that I was gonna have a Convention of States booth at my campus? Well, I did it, and unfortunately, it kind of was a bust. No one really showed up because I made the silly choice to have it during finals week. I think the last thing on students' minds during finals week is, how are we gonna limit the federal government? Mostly it's people like, oh my gosh, am I gonna pass this chem exam? However, there is a silver lining to this story. So I printed out a bunch of flyers to promote my COS booth, but I had to go into the administration's office to get them approved. I go in there to get them approved, and the person who's approving them happens to be a poli-sci professor at my old campus, College of the Desert. He looks over my flyer and he starts asking me all these questions. What does your organization do? What is a Convention of States? What is Article 5? So I start going through all the different points, talking about what a Convention of States is, how we want to limit federal abuse of power, how we want to implement fiscal responsibility, term limits for elected officials, how we want to get the federal jurisdiction out of states' rights. I list all the different points. Now, this poli-sci professor wasn't red hot on everything I was saying, but he did love the idea of term limits for elected officials. So much so that he said he wants me to come into his classroom to talk about Convention of States and the different goals we have. I mean, how cool is that? I get to go speak at my old campus about what I'm doing for Convention of States.
What's really cool about this story is it just happened out of nowhere. I just was in the right place at the right time. So I really hope this bears fruit, and I'll keep you updated about what's going on with it. Also, I'm gonna be going back to my campus to do another booth. I acted, and I learned, and now it's time to adjust. Well, thank you for watching episode 6 of the 5 Hour Activist series. My name's Andrew. I'll see you next time. Bye.